I actually was able to get a letter to Kid.
Oh, wow.
I got a letter to him telling him that, you know, I love you as a little brother. I hear what happened. I pray for you, and I just wanted to let you know that I always saw you as my little brother. So they got him to read that letter, and what I understood, what they told me was when he got the letter, he read it and he cried. Never got to talk to him. Next thing I knew is I heard he passed.
He made the announcement that he was sick, and less than a month later, he had passed.
Yeah.
Like, and then, I think it was it stomach cancer?
Yeah, it was stomach cancer.
Yeah.
And so they have the first word I got was that Kid wanted to be buried in Guam. He loved Guam. And there was one of my ex-students that took care of him, this guy Melker. He was like a brother to, he was like Melker Menebusen. He was like a brother to Kid. So he took care of Kid.
Yeah, Kid died in his arms on his couch.
Yeah, I mean, Melker was there with Kid like every day, massaging him. Melker,
cleaning him up, everything. Yeah.
Melk, for me, man, you know, I believe that, you know, some people say that, oh wow, Melker was your friend and he turned his back towards Kid. No, but I feel that the reason why the universe had me introduce Kid to Melker was because Melker was going to take care of Kid in his last days. And I am 100% forever grateful for Melker taking care of Kid like that.
Well, why don't we kind of bring it back just a little bit to kind of show what type of relationship, like how strong that bond was between you two. And you had a fight, where's it at? Yes. You had a fight against Daniel Vianney, April 16, 2004 at Super Bowl 25. No, I apologize.
Tom Sauer.
Daniel Vianney was the referee. You had Tommy Sauer was the opponent. Why don't you bring us through that fight when you went up against Tommy Trauma?
Tommy, when I fought Tommy, I was already pretty much done with fighting, but I wanted to just before I actually put the gloves away, I wanted to fight in my two homes that I consider homes, was Guam and Hawaii. So as you know, I know Tommy Sauer was a good striker, so I wanted to stand with him, but I guess I was already changing as a fighter, and I clinched, tried to take him down. You know, I ended up underneath him, got hit a little bit, but nothing to be worried about. And the referee stopped the fight, and I didn't protest because you don't know what it looked like. I've learned not to protest until after you watch the fight. Even the Heath Hearing fight, when it was stopped, I didn't protest it because I didn't know what it looked like. If it looked real bad and then I'm complaining that the referee stopped, I look like a stupid person. So I didn't protest it, but I remember Kid just going nuts, like almost wanting to start a fight with the ref. Yeah.
Okay, let me tell you something. Phil Baroni was Phil Baroni and Kid Yamamoto were in Enson's corner, and Baroni was the voice of reason. Think about that.
Yeah, oh shit, that's right.
You don't hear that often. You don't hear that. Yamamoto wasn't letting Vianney out of the ring, wasn't letting Vianney out of the corner. I don't know what it took for Yamamoto not to beat up the referee. But there was, the gods of war stopped it from happening, but it was on its way. And had he done that, he wouldn't have been able to fight in that 2005 Grand Prix, where, he cut his bones, essentially.
Yeah, so what happened with Kid is after he passed, my gym got an invitation for them to go to his funeral. I got a call like 3 days before because I was planning to go anyway to pay my respects to him.
Of course.
So I got a call from his manager, and they called me and told me that they're going to be having two parties. They're going to be one for famous people, press, gyms. The second gathering is going to be in the afternoon, and it's going to be for fans. After they send an invitation for the people that run my gym to go to the first party, they call me personally and say, can you please come to the second party?
Oh, wow.
So they want me to go with the fans. So I'm like, okay.
Was this his
that's kind of
father?
fucked up. Yeah, probably the father, and maybe I'm not sure if it was me or not. My ex-wife.
Okay.
The word I get is she didn't want to see me. So, understandable. Okay. I felt, put your grudges aside, man. Your brother just freaking died, man. Put your grudge,
Wow.
Put all our grudges aside. I mean, it's just for anything. I got backstabbed by the dad. Miu never let me see her son. If anything, I'm the one who don't want to see them, but I was willing to throw that all out the window. And I was willing to go in there and pay my respects. So I get that call. So I call all the people around me, my gyms, and I tell them, you guys are coming with me. We're going to unite, and we're all going to go together in the second party. The people, okay, apparently the father didn't put any money out for the funeral. The sponsors did. The sponsors put all the money out. The sponsors get word of it. They call me and say, Enson, what's going on? You have to come to the first party because it's going to look really weird that you're not allowed to come to the first party. And these sponsors are like Yakuza guys, yeah? So I tell them, I already made all my calls. All my guys are all going to meet me on the second party. And I tell them, I was told that I can't come to the first party. They said, no, we're going to waive it. You can come. In fact, if you don't come, we're going to lose face because it's going to look bad on us because we're the ones who are organizing this. And I told him on the phone, I said, you know what? I said, you guys should have fucking took care of that before. So I said, I'm going to the second party. I'm going to the second session. Yeah. So they said, oh, they can't make me do anything. So I did. The funny thing is, the big reason why they wanted me to come to the second part is because apparently Mio didn't want to see me. I get there, walk in there, I get escorted in. I thank them for not making me line up with all the fans, which is a huge line around the corner. They escorted me in, and me and my maybe like 30 people, my group in through the side. And as I'm walking through the side, I see Miu still there taking picture with fans. And I'm like, if she didn't want to see me that bad, why is she still here? The first session ended like a couple hours before that. So I go in there. There's this huge, this powerful underworld guy that's Yakuza, not Yakuza, but he has power with production agencies. He's one of the backing for Rising, I mean, he's one of those big guys that backs up a lot of associations. I knew him a long time. I saw him as soon as he got there. I was like, hey, long time no see. Shake his hand, everything. Go do light incense. See him there again. Oh, he's by me again. He's following me around the freaking thing. So I light my incense, pay my respects, and I'm about to leave. The manager of Kid, the guy who asked me to come to the second party, comes up to me and says, Enson, we put up a collaboration video of Kid's life and career. Can you please sit down and watch it? I'm like, okay, I'll come and watch it. So I went into that separate room where some fans were already gathering, and I sat down and started watching the video. They covered his youth, they covered his wrestling career. And then when they started coming into the MMA section, I knew already that I was going to be left out of it, but I was already used to it, that my name wasn't going to be mentioned about anything about his life and his career. And I was okay with it because I knew that that's how it was going to be.
Wow.
And when I sat down and it started, the way they introduced the reasoning they gave why he started fighting was because Miyu brought him and introduced him into fighting. Miyu had nothing to do with fighting. Miyu wasn't even a fighter. She was she was just a wrestler, strictly a wrestler. And that was too much for me. I got up and left the room.
Why would they even ask you to watch that shit?
Yeah, I did. I refused. As soon as I saw that part, I got up and left the room. I got up and left the room, and I called the manager over, and I told him that I need to talk to everyone who's responsible for this video. And what kind of tripped me out was this guy said, "I'm responsible. I'll take full responsibility." And he wasn't the one. And I wanted him to take responsibility of it. And he didn't. So the Yakuza guy was next to me. He had all these other guys around. I was starting to get mad. They noticed I was starting to get mad. It started getting crazy, and I just let it out. I just told him the whole story. I just went up, and all the crazy B fighters are there. And I just told those guys that, the fact that you guys cut me out of his life is fine. I said, but if you're going to lie about it now, that's wrong.
That's a completely different. That's not even the same ballpark.
I looked at the Yakuza guy. I looked at the crazy B fighters, and I said, you guys know the truth. I said, I don't expect you guys to stand against the gym and tell them that they're wrong, but don't stand with lies. If there's a lie being told, tell the truth. And I told them, the reason why I distanced myself from Kid was because the father, and it's because the father wanted to take money from Kid. He wouldn't honor the contract. So I had it out. There was actually a video that was caught of that whole incident, and you can see all the people behind it. Yeah. See all the suit guys behind there?
Yeah.
So that's how everything ended, man.
It's a shame.
Yeah.
That's
that's why when you guys are talking about, how close we were really close. But when you were saying that, I was saying, oh shit, you guys, they don't know what actually really happened,
Yeah.
I don't think anyone knows.
This is wild stuff, man, and I hate to see it like that when it goes down like that. I mean, you did so much, put it all out there for him, and just how things played out. Man, it's very unfortunate. I mean, I understand how painful that can be. I've had people in far the gym business, and I mean, people have been devastated over when that happens to them. As far as something similar, I've seen it happen many times. The trainer, they abandon, they go to a new trainer. I got to go to American Top Team. I got to go here, wherever. They abandon their loyal trainer, and the things never work out for them as well, it seems like. But it's a hardcore business like that, very cutthroat. I hate it.
You know what's really what I've learned through this? There's two things that people don't consider sicknesses that actually is a sickness, and that's fame and money. And the reason why I call it a sickness is because when you walk into fame or money, or both at the same time, if you're not careful and you don't treat that sickness properly, it's going to overwhelm you, and it's going to make you backstab people that you would never have backstabbed. So, the father had that sickness, and, Kid just didn't have a way to control that. I don't hold it against him, man. I mean, he was my little brother, and fame and money just corrupted his mind.
How much
Very
do you
good
think
point.
the Yakuza played into the corruption?
No, I don't think the Yakuza had anything to do with it. I think it was the father. And you know what the funny thing is, that the Yakuza guy that was supposed to watch me, I met him for dinner a couple weeks later, and I wanted him to make a choice. That if you're going to support that lies, then I'm done with you. If you're going to support me, then you should be done with them. He chose me.
Nice.
I actually found out from him that they put out all the money for the funeral. And people give money for the funeral. The money that accumulated from the fans and from the the people that gave money to their offerings for the funeral didn't even bring their money back that they paid for the whole ceremony. But the dad called them and asked them to set aside $30,000 to give to him.
Wow.
Yeah, no. So, I mean, without anything else being said, you can see what the dad was like, and that was the big reason why me and Kid had a falling out. I always blamed him and said, Kid's not bad. It's the dad. But it came down to the bottom line that Kid's an adult. He can make his own decisions, and in a way, I did get kind of backstabbed by him too.
Oh yeah.
Well, do you think? Have you seen Kid's father since then in public?
No, I've seen him at the Rising events, but I mean, they avoid me with a plague.
They probably should.
Well, it's just uncomfortable, I mean, they know what they did, inside they have to know,
The funny thing about that, I don't even know if the dad really knows what he did. That's how bad the sickness is. I don't even know if he knows what he did. That's how bad it is.
And I would have to assume every time they see you, they probably would want to look away just for knowing that they were wrong there. You know what I mean? Not to deal with that. I mean, you can think whatever you want in your head, but you see that, and so you probably would try to avoid you you don't want to deal with the truth. You know what I mean? You would live in that fantasy world. You're good. You do this to help everybody, but in the back of your head, you have to know that they have to know they are wrong. So I could see them trying to avoid you like the plague, like you said. They don't want to see that. That just makes them feel the truth. They don't want that.
Yeah, it's possible for a normal person, but I almost sometimes put it even to a more extent, saying that that they possibly might not even realize what they do and who they are.
He's a
that's
narcissist.
far blown. Wow.
Yeah, he's a narcissist. Yeah, he's a narcissist.
It's that far off. Like Amber Heard actually thinks she's right giving all these interviews now.
You're right. Hey, you're right. Those people, they're delusional with the fact that, just, no, I'm right. Like, now you can't be more wrong. They don't see it, I guess.
I've been watching the Amber Heard trial, and at first I'm pretty much like, what a bitch. She's a liar. What the hell is she doing? Getting riled up on it. And now when you see her even talking after the verdict's done,
yeah,
I look at it more like, holy shit, something's wrong with her.
Oh
yeah.
So it's not, it doesn't upset. It's not like she's a bitch. No, she's like, oh shit, she's sick.
No,
She's mentally ill.
she believes that stuff. She believes she's right. And that's how delusional, they don't get reality, man. It's so funny. I mean, ugh.
You know what is the finishing touch on it for me too? Like, what really makes it bad is, Kid was 41 when he passed away. And
It's so much life. Yeah.
But keep in mind, like, he died in another fighter's arms with not his father taking care of him or his family. Like, if he had gone back to his family and really reconciled with them, but that doesn't seem to have existed, It's like, I can almost see picking family, that makes it hard, but that wasn't the choice. It was always money and then everything else. That's kind of sad.
I never thought of that. That's true. He didn't turn to his family.
No.
He turned to his friend.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah, I mean, and they got to look at it this way. He makes the announcement, and 3 weeks later, he passed.
Check out the full interview on iTunes, Spotify, and all major podcast platforms.